then you'll live a long time.
He rode a blazing saddle.
The American Film Institute just named Brooks's Blazing Saddles the funniest film of all time. I'm Ed Donahue.
The latest through the weekend at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
5:04 in the afternoon, and right about now it's time to take a look at the roads of Guam as we help you move forward on your daily commute. If you are currently on Route 1 at the ITC intersection, headed up northbound on that intersection, you're going to have some slow-going traffic there. I just see red lines. Likewise, southbound on that same intersection. And if you're currently on Route 14, and that is coming off passing by on that same intersection, coming from GPO, you're going to feel some slow-going traffic if you're on Route 14 trying to get onto Route 1. So yeah, just be patient, give that braking distance between you and the car in front of you, and you'll get to go where you need to go safely. All right, moving right up the road on Route 1 at the intersection of Donkey Village and the Airport Mobile. At that intersection, if you're coming off Route 10A, headed on to Route 1, major traffic jam right there. And likewise going up northbound. Southbound, I see just a little, but don't worry. It is 5 o'clock right now, so you can be expecting that it is crunch time out on the roads of Guam. Of course, that is your look at traffic, proudly being brought to you by Guam Auto Spot as they help you move forward on your daily commute. Don't forget to check them out on their website, guamautospot.com. Set up a test drive or check out their inventory. You can also give them a call at 478-AUTO. All right, going to take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to start off the 5 o'clock hour of the Bright Side right here on Wave 105.
Guam is building the future, and the right conversations start here. SAME Guam Post invites you to the 2026 Industry Forum happening July 28 through 30 at the Dusitani Resort. Join military, government, and industry leaders as they come together to discuss Guam's future in infrastructure, resilience, and regional growth. This premier event connects you to Guam's next generation of infrastructure. Registration is open. Visit GuamIndustryForum.com. The 2026 SAME Industry Forum, delivering Indo-Pacific readiness.
Celebrating America's 250th birthday. Only one state in the nation is built on lava. Once a sovereign nation with its own culture, Hawaii became a territory of the United States in 1900. The two most important products that sustained the economy were sugar and pineapples. In 1959, the people of Hawaii were asked to vote on statehood. 94% of the population said yes. And on August 21st, 1959, Hawaii officially became the 50th state.
The road to Adelup is here, and this time we spoke with Democrat candidates, Senator Torius Terlahi and Senator Sabina Perez. Here is your opportunity to hear how they plan to govern Guam. Watch the conversation on Wave 105's YouTube channel, dated May 28th. This is a glimpse of Guam radio station.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the show hosts, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the staff or management of Wave 105.1 FM, Glimpses Media, or our partners. We strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, and we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105.1 FM. Enjoy the show.
All summer long, Chili's Party Platters make celebrating easy and delicious. Perfect for grad parties, family gatherings, or anytime you're feeding a crowd. Available for pickup or for delivery. Only at Chili's. Great value and memories happen here.
The road to Adelup is set.
This time, we sit down with Democrat candidates Senator Joe St. Augustine and former Senator Dwayne St. Nicholas. Catch the full conversation that took place on May 8th on the Wave 105 YouTube channel. Stay informed and hear their vision for Guam's future. Wave 105 is a Glimpses of Guam radio station.
One of our biggest problems today is that we are afraid to have others challenge our mindset, and therefore we avoid topics that could lead to challenging conversations. At a young age, we're told not to talk about anything that is remotely divisive, but without having challenging conversations, how do you know that what you're saying is your truth and not just something you were raised to believe? Having conversations is how we learn. It's important to be able to see the other sides of things in order to form an opinion and choose what's best for you. Let's say you were raised to shower with all your clothes on. You could go throughout life thinking that is the best way to get clean, and if you never meet anyone brave enough to talk about hygiene, then you may never know that there is a better way. There's no reason to be afraid of differences. Limiting yourself to certain topics can render yourself unable to talk to friends, coworkers, or even family. To avoid challenging conversations is the same as to keep your mind trapped in a little box. Open your box and start having more civic conversations.
Civility. It's an American thing. From AmericanThing.org.
Balanced, fair, thoughtful. Wave 105 FM.
We got it together, didn't we? Nobody but you and me. We've got it together, baby. And the answer to all of my dreams.
11 in the afternoon. Here's the number once again, 671-922-1051 or 2. This is the BrightSide right here on Wave 105. Sending it back to Mr. Pauly. Suba, buenas.
We do want to thank our sponsors. Subway, you got to refresh to be fresh. Triple J Ford. Get that free $500 gas card when you drive home with a new Ford truck. Visit triplejguam.com and get pre-approved instantly. GTA, we start with you. Chili's Grill and Bar. Chili's, more life, great food, and memories happen here. And Micropack. Don't miss a memory. Get your travel cameras and storage essentials at Micropack today. 671-922-1051 or 1052. We are online, thewave105.com. as well as our YouTube channel, Wave 105.1 FM Guam. And that's exactly where I want to direct you, to our YouTube channel. We started a new stream once again. It's time for Good News for a Change, and that's brought to you by Provisions Wine and Cheese. They serve fresh salads, delicious sandwiches, and authentic Roman-style pizza. Provisions is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sorry, I almost made them work longer. 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call Provisions at 671-633-9463. Place your order today or visit the website provisionsguam.com. And so for today's Good News for a Change, we're going to play this video that I found on TikTok. My TikTok algorithm is now finding all of these like good news videos that are just like heartwarming, right? And so, which I like, I really enjoy it because when we talk about some of these heavy issues, right, it's important that we share them, right? When we're talking about GDOE or we're talking about missile defense systems and what does that mean for our protection.
We're such Debbie Downers.
Right? I mean, those are important, and I definitely do want to continue to talk about those things, right?
Yes.
Because it affects our quality of life. But every now and then, you know, when I have the opportunity, I just get on TikTok and I just want to escape all of that. I just want to hear some good news.
I just look for the food stuff.
So this story is about a Finny flight. Are you familiar with the Finny flight?
Finland,
It's basically the final flight. Like Finny. Like, you know, I don't know what language that is. It French or... You know, like Finny, right? It's Finnish.
Well, it's not word slang like I'm going to finna.
This is no.
I'm fitting to.
This is the final flight for this captain.
Okay.
Who has been, I believe, a pilot for over 30 years. And so I don't want to really spoil it. You're going to hear the message. Basically, if you're not tuned into our YouTube and you just jumped in your car, there's the co-pilot or the co-captain that is delivering the message of the final flight for Captain Jim Curtis, I believe, of Western Airlines. I probably got that wrong.
Okay.
But you'll hear all of that. But it really is heartwarming, and it's it's just one of those feel good videos.
Our captain today, Jim Curtis, right here. He's celebrating his 65th birthday. So in airline industry, the 65th birthday marks mandatory retirement for pilots. Today, we are doing a Finney flight. A Finney flight is his final flight ever as a pilot for Southwest Airlines. Captain Curtis, he's been flying for 43 years. He spent 21 years serving in the Air Force, and he's been at Southwest for 22 years now. For the course of his career, he has over 18,000 hours of flight time. I'm really honored to be his first officer today because Captain Curtis has been a mentor for me my entire life. He inspired me to be a pilot. On top of becoming a pilot, he also helped teach me how to walk, how to talk, how to ride a bike, how to throw a baseball, how to drive a car, and probably most importantly, he taught me how to carry myself with humility, kindness, and integrity both in and out of work. Because Captain Curtis is also my dad. Getting to fly with him is a dream come true and something that we're going to remember for the rest of our lives. It's really an honor. My entire life, he has been the first one to tell me how proud he is of me and my siblings, and today we get to express how proud we are of him. Dad, congratulations. It's an incredible career. Thank you for everything you've taught me. It's kind of scary to fly with an old guy, but he knows the way really well. Welcome aboard. Thank you for joining us on this special flight today.
We've flown together for the whole month. We've had a disagreement from day one. Honestly, I cannot take off until we solve this. She's been working at Southwest now for approximately 4 months. She has a full-time job. She is still on my phone plan. Who thinks she should be off of my phone plan? Please help me.
Yes!
She's on it for life, I guess. I've been doing it for 22 plus years. Southwest passengers are the best. You guys make it fun. We try to make it fun for you. So thank you very much for a great send-off. Appreciate it.
There you go. Some good news. Right here on Wave 105. I don't know what we're watching now.
Yeah, that was so nice, actually. Yeah.
Oh, there. We got off because watch out, my algorithm.
Oh, yeah.
You might really see what I watch. That was some really good news, right? And
Father
heartwarming.
and daughter do.
Yes.
Wow. That's
Looks
so
like
nice.
she's going to stay on his phone plan. He might be on her phone plan if he's retiring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard about that law that once you turn 65, that's it. That's it for you.
On your phone plan?
No, to being a pilot. It makes sense, right? Because she even joked about it. She goes, he's pretty old to be flying this plane.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm probably going to get a lot of crap for saying this, but I think after Joe Biden being president for 4 years and he was like cognitively he was not there, I think they kind of like.
I think it's case by case though, because I know plenty of 80-year-olds that have it all together still to this day.
Yeah,
and some of them are our callers too.
Yeah, no,
they're sharp.
Yeah. No, I agree. But when you look at the the federal government, like if you're an FBI agent, 20 years of service is the cutoff. Yeah, you could be like, 40 years old. Still you're gonna have to go.
And that's something too that we have to look at it with the police department. I think they made that.
They did, yes, they did.
Right, it basically doesn't force you out of retirement.
Yeah,
but
you don't have to do the 35 years.
It allows you to leave at 20 and you get all your benefits.
I mean, it was just common sense law, and
because that's what will happen, right? A lot of us. I know my dad. He's like, man, I can't. I can't retire at 20.
Yeah,
because I got so much going on that I need to keep working.
And then when you look at the finances of Gulf Guam, a couple years back, I know teachers that couldn't retire. They were hitting already 40 years because they didn't pay the contribution, and so they couldn't retire. And so thankfully that is pretty much over and done with. I don't know. I haven't heard of any cases like that anymore.
All right. Like we said, 671-922-1051 or 1052. We are online, thewave105.com, as well as our YouTube channel, Wave 105.1 FM Guam. I think Ryan's on the line with somebody. We'll try to get them on. If not, all right, somebody's there? Yeah, just put them on. Half a day, Wave 105, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hello there. Hi.
My name is Dorina Bloss, and I just let me start ask my questions by saying that both of you are good men, and you have Guam a tremendous amount of service while you in your whatever capacity.
I'm sorry, Jarina, you're breaking up. Are you able to find a clean an area where maybe, I don't know, there's some, we're not hearing you quite well. You can continue to break up.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
That sounds better. Go ahead.
Okay. So I wanted to start by saying that both of you men are good men and sincerely dedicated to serving the people of Guam the best way you know how. And I'd like to say that in this upcoming election, and I wanted to say that no matter what, whether with different opinions or whatever, just getting elected to the Guam legislature merits respect from everyone in the community, regardless of what you did or didn't do while in office. The first question goes out to Senator Sean Gumatauta.
Oh, I'm so sorry. They're not here anymore.
Oh, dear Lord.
They're not here. They left at 5.
Oh,
but what is the
okay.
question? Because I know Senator Sean's listening, and I can always send the question to them, and hopefully we get a response.
Okay.
But, yeah, go ahead.
So
what's your question?
My
and I'll try to get
question
it
or
over.
comment with Senator Gumatauta is this. For the 30th Guam legislature,
You're breaking up again, Tarina.
Okay. Now, for the 38th Guam legislature, I wanted to express my extreme disappointment with the Republican majority, primarily for one reason, and that is that in the FY 2026 and 2027 budgets, they saw it proper and appropriate to give $80 million to the rich and the elitist class in Guam, and did not give the same consideration to those who are struggling to pay taxes and having a hard time. And the 30th Guam legislature, what they effectively did was they took away $3.33 million monthly from the GovGuam cash flow, which adversely impacted our government's ability to provide the critical services they need to its people. So I will not be voting for Senator Gumatauta in this round, but I did agree with one statement he made during the budget hearing, and that is that we should be promoting businesses, the business community, as opposed to the government. We should be reducing the government. Yes, absolutely. But I don't believe that monies that have put into the GovGuam coffers should be rebated until we have good fiscal policies and our government is fiscally sound. So for the 39th legislature, I will not be voting for Senator Sean Gumatauta, but in the 40th legislature, if he should run again and have good ideas, I will consider marking him. Irrespective, Senator Sean Gumatauta, for being voted in and serving the people of Guam in the 39th or the 38th legislature, I will always give him the respect and honor he deserves. Now, for the contender for the 39th Guam legislature, Fred Bordallo, as having been head of the Department of Corrections, I have a question. If he should take oversight and win the majority and become the chairperson over a Department of Corrections, I want him to consider something very important that has been on my mind. And that is the Department of Corrections inmates. I am tired of paying their food, medical, and whatever bills they're racking up for the people of Guam. So the Department of Corrections should look into reforms that will allow the Department of Corrections inmates to grow their own food and reduce the cost of incarcerating them to the people of Guam. And, and find them some opportunities where they can work and contribute to a victims fund for the victims that they have affected by their crimes or whatever. Department of Corrections reform is extremely important. And, the thing that's going on up there is you put all these men in such close proximity under the conditions they're living in, and you're just building the tension to the point where something has to break. And I'm afraid that if we don't start treating them like human beings, and that something terrible is going to happen. I'd like to see Department of Corrections start to grow their own food because, it's not right for the people of Guam for the cost and to continually pay for their cost of living or to feed them, and while these prices for food and whatever continue to escalate. So, yes, I agree with Ron McNich's comments that real reform needs to be done. And I'm tired of hearing the same old things about they're going to do something about education and law enforcement, and it's the same old, same old. Come on, everybody. We love each other. We're supposed to do something that's good for the people of Guam. So let's get our act together and start coming up with solutions rather than creating problems. I wish I had an opportunity to tell them directly to their faces what I have. What I've said today, and I hope that they get this message because I have I'm using my name. My name is Jarena Blas, and I want them to know who this is coming from because I want to be able to approach them in public when I meet with them and to discuss these issues so that, I don't have to move forward resenting these men. I think they deserve respect and that they are trying, but they're not trying hard enough. Thank you, Pauly, for this opportunity.
Oh, thank you for calling in. I appreciate that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. I think I heard the phone line going again. No, we're good? Okay.
No, we're good. We're good.
671-922-1051 or 1052. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we are. That's why I appreciate the discourse, or I appreciate this platform, right? It allows people to call in and speak their mind and be able to share their convictions or what they expect out of public servants. And so I think that's warranted. She didn't say anything that was, disrespectful. She didn't say anything that public servants shouldn't hear, right? I mean, that's, again, people that run for office know what to expect. People that run for office know that this is part of the job. You're going to be criticized for the decisions that you make one way or another. And so, I don't know, I respect it. I may not always agree with some of the statements, but, everybody has a right to their opinion and their perspective. Somebody's on the line? Yeah. Off at Wave 105, you're on the air. Hello? You're on the air.
Yeah, is that me?
It is you, Kaduku.
Hungan. Hey,
What's up,
thank
friend?
you very much. Everybody does have to write to their own. And Badalu, Federales. That's the first cassette
That's
tape I
the
bought.
jam, right? That is the jam.
Yeah, man. Well, we need some people in there who can jam. So whenever they're all uptight and don't know what to do, we can have Fred play the organs and play some Carlos and Tyler.
You might see a whole band, to be honest with you, if Luis Borja gets back in. Senator Tello Taitagui stays. That's a keyboard player and 2 lead singers right there.
Yeah,
Who plays
she used
drums?
to play with Casuals way back.
Who plays drums that's running right now? Nobody.
And Ryan, he's a pretty good.
Well, he's not running, so he can't go anywhere.
Yeah, I can't go anywhere. I don't want to go. I don't want to go there.
He's not running.
You don't want to go there, huh?
No,
hey,
no.
man, we can get this whole island chilling, and we can get it moving in the right direction, and nobody gets left behind, Pauly, and we can fix it because I know we can. We just need people who are good and got good minds and want to work together, and let's get it done.
For sure.
Hey, anyway, Pauly Suba, I like your voice, man. That's what makes 105.1 105.1.
I'm feeling a lot better, that's for sure. So I brought
Thank you very much for putting me on your show, man.
All right, take care.
Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna send some of these. I don't think that there was a question to Senator Sean. She's disappointed with Senator Sean, right? And so I'll probably just I'll send that unless he's listening.
And then
the question on I'll just send it to both and see what they respond, how they respond.
I mean,
would you be in favor of an agricultural program where DOC inmates and detainees, while they're there, I guess, can grow their own? But I don't know if detainees can.
Yeah.
But inmates
definitely can.
Reform, or it's a agricultural program where they grow their own food. That's a great idea, to be honest with you.
It is. I mean, and I think they should
job
work with
skills and rehabilitation programs, and their pay, percentage of their pay should go to the victims. What is it? It's called a
restitution
compensation, right? Victims compensation fund. Yeah, they were just talking about that. 2 weeks ago.
So Sean says yes on that particular question.
Okay.
Yeah, on the growing their own food and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah. Prison farm, pretty much. That's what he says. Yeah.
Okay.
So
There you
thank
go.
you, sir, for responding. Yes. And, I'm glad that lady called because, there are a lot of people out there. I mean, nowadays with elections and everything, when you have your Godzu, when you have your party, everybody's cynical that they don't even want, if Pauly is a full-fledged Democrat, that Republican was like, oh no, because he's Democrat, right? He won't even give you the chance. And likewise with the Democrat, won't even give like Pauly the Democrat a chance because the Republican is just so cynical. That lady basically said that she's very disappointed because of this reason. And, she basically told Senator Sean, like, look, I'm disappointed. I'm not going to vote for you, but I do respect you. And if you do decide to run again, if you don't make it on the 39th and you come back on the 40th with better ideas, then maybe,
right?
And I kind of like those type of voters because they're still open-minded regardless of party. So kudos to that caller that called in.
And like what Senator Sean said in his closing, I mean, it is important that you go out and vote. It is extremely important. I mean, if you look at the numbers, Senator Sean was 15, right? Right?
Yeah, I believe
he was number 15. And so, you can move a senator, up or down depending on how many more people are voting. Obviously, I think we needed like 200 some more votes, but it's I wouldn't say it's disappointing. It's saddening to hear that there are so many registered voters that are just choosing not to vote. And
260.
So,
right?
see, see that,
Yeah.
And so when you see how many people are registered compared to how many actually voted, clearly Senator Sean could have went up or down.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying that if 260 more voters voted, they would all vote for somebody else completely different from Senator Sean. He could have went up more. He could have went down more.
Well, look at the election cycle prior to the last one, right? where Senator Jess Lahan and Senator at the time Kelly Marsh, they were neck and neck. I think they were like only like 38 votes, 39 votes apart. And it was pretty much by the skin of his teeth, by the skin of his chinny chin, pretty much, he got in, Senator Jess. But even 39 votes make a whole lot of difference. And so when you look at past election cycles with the early voting, I'm hoping, because the Guam Election Commission makes it very, very easy for people to come out and vote, because there are a lot of people like, I don't want to get in line on the general or the primary, so they have
early voting.
They have the early voting, and they come up to your car and do that. So they should take advantage of it. And I believe it's July 7th is when it opens, early voting.
Yeah, because you can almost make the argument that there's not enough people voting during that early voting window. And you can almost make the argument for the Guam Election Commission board or even the legislature to say enough already. We're not doing it.
Yeah.
But at this point, we're saying it's so important. We're willing to keep the early voting window open for this long, regardless of how many are actually showing up. But if those numbers keep going down, you're going to have to make the case. I mean, stay down. Because again, there's a lot of things that we can fund.
I got a text that says early voting, 10% of the total votes cast since Guam started the process during the pandemic. All right. What we want to see is that surpassing 10%. People should take advantage of this.
Yes, we want to see it going. Yes, absolutely.
So,
and I'm glad that they also got rid of the motor voter, because that could have inflated the registered voters too.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that they got rid of it. So now we can really see, compare, who's actually registered. And, because that process too, a lot of times people are just saying, do you want to register to vote? Yes. And then they forget about it. They have no plans on going to vote.
Yes. We have a caller in line.
All right,
one.
Off at Wave 105. You're on the air. Hello there. You're on the air.
Hey, it's Verna.
Hi, Verna.
I've been listening. Oh my gosh, so much with GVOE.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is really taking it in for summer and trying not to think about anything school related.
Sure.
You know what I mean? There's this thing that I saw on Facebook. Types of teachers, and one is like the hibernator. That would be me. The one that's trying to clean their house. I forgot what that's called. That's in between me also. And there's 4 of them. And I think one of them is the princess planner. And I'm like, that's not me. I am not planning anything with regards to school. I don't even want to think about it. But I'm being, if I'm going to be honest, I kind of am, because I want my theme to be Toy Story.
Oh, yeah.
Because I watched Toy Story 5, and I was able to find something on Amazon, so therefore I am lying, because I kind of planned a little bit. And there's this cool bulletin board that I'm going to use where it's like, it says, what's your story? And it has where I can put the kids' names on the clouds, and then I'll figure out what we're going to do and everything, to add to it and everything because of, your story. And it could be like, give me a story about what you did over the summer or something. I'll figure that out. But, so therefore that's probably what I'm going to do, especially because it's supposed to be my last school year.
Oh, wow. I think I remember you saying that, but I wasn't.
Yep, and everything, So I'm just figuring out my options. I met with retirement over the summer. Everything's good to go. And then I meet with them in March to see if I'm really going to do it. Okay. And my husband's really encouraging me, and a bunch of people and everything, even though people are like, oh my gosh, you're still young. You could. So I'm like, yeah, but at the same time, I want to enjoy my life because, man, I just, I went to a funeral over the weekend with for a friend of mine who didn't get to do that. I believe she was about to retire. I don't know. I got to figure out if she retired or she about to retire like me, but now she's not here. You know what I mean? So it's, we need to just make time for ourselves and to enjoy life. And yes, the bills are always going to be there, but there's a way that we can manage our finances and figure out what I call, what we call the debt to income ratio. And, what is it? live within your means and all that. So that's what we're planning. My husband and I were discussing it and figuring ourselves, and I can't wait for like next summer where I get to visit Isaiah for as long as I want in Hawaii next summer because he'll be stationed there.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's the plan and everything. But oh my gosh, with everything going on, oh man, and I like how you preface it where you're like, when Dodea opened and they took, they welcomed our local teachers and whatnot. That just proves again, it was never really us that was the problem. It's just everything else. Because it's true. My son, when he went there, I think from kindergarten to like 5th grade.
Yeah, it wasn't the teachers. The teachers weren't the problem because they hired them all from
Amen and everything.
GDOE.
Either they retired from DOE or they, went ahead and went there. You know what I mean? It's better. I'm sorry. It just sorry, not sorry. You know what I mean? It's just, there's just so many, positives that happen when you do that and everything. But, and I've considered it, but
Verna, you
I'm
can't
glad.
fault them either because, the package, that the federal government or Dodea was offering.
Yep.
And they saw the need for teachers that were certified and everything, and so they just offered.
Oh yeah, and I was one of them. I almost went there. Like there was like 3 times that I got called because I just put in my application to kind of see what my options are and to see if. And I got called. I'll never forget. It was for a kindergarten position, and I'm sorry, you cannot pay me enough to teach kindergarten. Teachers that teach kindergarten and 1st grade, as far as I'm concerned, are the angels of the school.
Here's a question: does Dodea have a school board?
Not that I know of. That's a really good question.
I
don't even know.
Only because the irony here is they basically said, Guam, you need to have a school board. If not, we're going to create our own school. So,
That's something to research.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I never thought about that. But the thing is, I just wanted to say to you, whatever year it was, they were still outside, and I think they were still called Guam South Elementary, not McCool yet. So they weren't in the base yet. They were still outside of the base, the gates, I mean.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
I was asked, to take a position in like March, and school's out in May, right? Man, my pay, when they were telling me, my pay for those 2 months would have been what I make for a whole school year.
Wow.
I was like, no, I was so tempted. I'm just telling you straight up. I was so tempted, but something just told me, no, finish out the school year with the students and whatnot and everything. And so I've had my chances, and I literally would say, no, thank you for considering me. But it was just also for myself to see if I could do it, like to see if, hey, regular me as a teacher, would I get hired? And apparently, yes.
Yeah, they were ready to take you for sure.
Yes, yeah, they were, and talk to my husband about it, talk to my aunt, and my son Isaiah, when he found out, all those times, he's like, Mom, you mean I could have finished at Dodea? Because he had to stop in 4th grade, because my husband retired, and then 5th grade, public school you go.
Sure.
So when he found out I didn't know, of course, I didn't tell him anything. It was later on when he realized, he's like, Bob, all this time, I'm like, I know, I'm so sorry, son, but it just wasn't in the cards for me and everything. My heart wasn't in it and everything. The pay, the dollar signs got to me and everything. And then you got a lot of people that are like, oh, but they work harder, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, you guys don't even know how hard I work. And everything. I do stuff after school and before school and on the weekends that I don't get paid for. So I would be able to handle it. When they try to compare and contrast and everything, that they're paid because they're expected to do this, and this. And I'm like, please, that's what a bunch of us already do as it is. We just don't get paid for it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So I did and everything, so yeah, and then what is it? Just wanted to just chime in and everything, and I'm listening and hoping for the best and praying on it and everything, that because they are kids, they deserve nothing but the best.
Right.
And everything. And a way that I've been keeping up with my students, even though I'm not supposed to be like thinking of kids or school or whatever, I've been checking out their field trips. I took my niece because she didn't get to go to summer school.
Okay.
And we went to the bowling alley 2 weeks ago, and then last week, Thursday, we went to Fisheye. So that was pretty exciting, and seeing the kids come, and they were like hugging me, Mrs. Viola, what are you doing here? And everything. So it felt good to come in, not as a teacher and not have to worry about anybody but my niece.
Yeah.
So that kind of like, just seeing these kids and how they are and how welcoming they are and the hugs that I got and everything, it just reminded me why I do what I do.
Absolutely, because even when you say like you went through the whole process and you wanted to see what if they would have hired you and you said no. After all these years, one thing I can guarantee is that the Harry S. Truman and Santa Rita Sumai community appreciates all those years that you taught there.
Yeah, thank you for that and everything. In fact, I just met another parent is like hoping, because it's my last year, that I can have her son in my class. And I'm like, she has 4 kids, and I have the oldest one who's the same age as Isaiah. And then she has one that graduated ready from high school also, and then one that's in high school. And then she has an elementary school boy. And so she's just hoping, and I'm like, we'll see and everything. I'd love to have him because he's going to be part of the last group of kids that I'm going to be teaching and everything. And so, and everything. So it's exciting hearing that and everything. And so therefore, school's always going to be in my brain and everything, and I've been shopping here and there in Temu. I'm pretty much ready to go, and everything and whatnot. But I'm just trying to make sure that I enjoy as much as I can. And then I'm going to take some classes in the summer academy. I'm going to a quick trip to the Philippines for about a week. And then when I get back, I get right into it and everything to get into school mode.
Okay, wow. Good for you.
Yeah. Last minute trip and everything. This trip is like I'll say girls trip. I'm going with my niece/goddaughter and my sister-in-law and a whole bunch of people because you know how Skip, they normally do their off-island trip to like a competition in the States and then they go to Europe.
Year, right?
Well, this year they're not doing that. They're doing something a little bit different where the kids that always compete are doing some kind of training in the Philippines with somebody who's been in World of Dance. I don't know all the details. I'll find out when I go. But she's going to be like training from like, I believe for at least 3 days, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Well, she's training because, I'm not a dancer and I'm not a skip mom. I'm going to be doing my thing and walking around and doing whatever I want to do.
There you go. Yeah. Are you planning on any concerts? Are there any good concerts while you're there?
No, I was looking. I didn't see anything yet and everything. So, yeah, that's what I always try to do. Whenever I go on a trip, I will try to see if there's a concert. So I haven't been able to see if there's anything. But, man, sometimes, last minute usually works out. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, I actually saw Janet Jackson in concert in the Philippines. It was really nice. Very nice.
Oh, man. Yeah, I heard. Oh, my gosh. She's time of, what is it? What I like to say, the soundtrack of my life. I grew up listening to her.
Exactly.
She's only like 5 or 6 years older than me. And just, she's awesome. She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So you just went recently?
No, this was back in 2024.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I have my cousin, I believe, is going to Japan either this month or next month, July, I believe. It's a girls' trip also, and they're going to go see Janet in Japan.
Nice.
So she's still traveling?
She's still doing her thing, yeah.
That's cool. But, the treat was they had a Michael Jackson impersonator really perfect to Michael Jackson.
Wow.
Right? And so, of course,
aren't they all in the Philippines? Like, they all know the Michael Jackson moves.
I mean, this guy was just like, he had his shades on, so you couldn't tell where his eyes were. But, people were actually taking pictures of him, right? I mean, down to the skin, even the nose and everything. And I'm like, man, I'm going to take a picture with you, dude.
He travels with her?
No. This guy,
he just showed up.
He just showed up, yeah. And people, I mean, this guy could have charged, and he would have made a lot of money, but he wasn't charging. So, I mean, I was
that makes it even better and everything. He's just a fan.
It was
a fan of Michael Jackson and wants people to enjoy his who he is and who he was. I see what you mean.
I saw Janet Jackson and the wannabe Michael Jackson.
Well, that movie that just came out introduced Michael Jackson to a whole new generation.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that was an excellent movie. I did see that also. And introduced like kids that didn't even know him for anything, and it just, and when I see these kids sing his songs and dance, my students, it makes me feel really good and everything because I'm like, see, he's gone, but his music is still living on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you so much, Verna.
Okay, and thank you for everything. Like Jarena said, thank you for all that you do, guys, because you help us out with regard to what's going on. And I've just been listening, and people are like, "How far, Vern, you haven't called?" And I'm like, because I'm in summer break. But I have been listening. I've been listening here and there.
Okay.
Thank you,
Take
ma'am.
care.
Okay, bye.
Chief Bordalio responded to, I sent the questions over, right?
Yeah.
So he responded, he said that this is something that he has been trying to incorporate. So this is like back in April 23rd, it says, at the University of Guam, today at the University of Guam Sustainability Conference at the Hyatt, DOC officials will present a brief of the DOC 2026 recycling program.
Okay.
Incorporating a Green Guam sustainability mission at the adult facility in Mangilao. Featured here. Oh, I lost it. Featured here at ACF Mangilao while I was Director of Corrections, there was a accumulation of broken and disabled old vehicles to include a DOC bus stored on the grounds of the facility for years and awaiting disposal. Additionally, I noted an accumulation of washers, dryers, other metal waste, and old defective equipment. As the new prison task force started planning, the issue of this amount of junk for disposal had to be addressed. So the challenge of the agency's management of trash accumulation balanced with environmental sustainability became a focus among DOC leadership. My appreciation goes out to the management team for their commitment to develop a recycling sustainability program that will benefit the community of Mangilao and our island. He sent me a long...
Is this like recently with all this old equipment, washers and dryers, cars?
This looks like, I mean, he's no longer the director there, but this is something that he presented back in April.
Gosh, you could have like taken advantage of the typhoon and the white goods and everything and all. Get rid of it like that.
Let me see. In conclusion, the effective implication of DOC's 2026 recycling program is designed with the adoption of off-island prison recycling and sustainability progress. It's expected to influence all employees of the department ways to sustain a cleaner environment that may influence other organizations to replicate the program. DOC, as a large consumer of food, water, power, material supplies, and equipment, hopes to set the example of energy sustainability.
Nice.
Let me see but the question was, what about a food resiliency? Should they grow their own food? It looks like they have something there already. Let me see. I'm trying to click on this. Before leaving DOC, with the support of staff leadership, I designated for DOC a sustainability administrator and co-administrator to implement a recycling initiative.
Okay.
But there's also, this looks like, what is this? I'm trying to find
a farm?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm trying to see if is this in DOC? Let me ask, because he's talking about a recycling. Is this actually DOC? Is this farm in DOC? Let's see. Oh, yes, it is. It is in Mangilao, he said. So they are farming at DOC. So that's what Fred Bordalio sent over at the Adult Correction Facility. And this looks like individuals putting up the fence line too.
Nice.
So they are implementing that. There you go. Okay, very good.
All right.
5:52 in the afternoon. Somebody else on the line?
No.
Okay, we'll take the break,
Yes.
and then we'll give you your last look at traffic with Guam Auto Spot right here on Wave 105.
Celebrating America's 250th birthday. On November 2nd, 1920, radio station KDKA in Pittsburgh broadcast the results of the presidential election. That was the first radio news broadcast for the public and the beginning of commercial broadcasting in the United States. And for decades, millions of listeners have been hearing their news on the radio, like Edward R. Morrow, reporting from London during a World War II blitz.
This is Trafalgar Square. The noise that you hear at the moment is the sound of the air raid siren. I'm standing here just on the steps of St. Martin's in the Fields.
And Herbert Morrison's emotional report of the Hindenburg disaster.
Oh, the humanity.
And President Franklin Roosevelt's fireside chats where he reported the news and comforted the nation during troubled times.
My friends, I want to talk for a few minutes with the people of the United States about banking.
Americans have been listening to radio for 126 years, just over half of our nation's 250 years.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Half a day. This is Luella Lucinio, host of Pinas de Guam. Together with the Filipino community of Guam and Wave 105.1, we proudly celebrate Philippine Independence Month with the theme Kalayaan, Kinabukasan, Kasaysayan, Freedom, Future, History. From Guam to the Philippines, we honor our shared history, celebrate our freedom, and build our future together. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas at Guam!
The road to Adelup is set. This time, we sit down with Democrat candidates Senator Joe San Augustine and former Senator Dwayne San Nicolas. Catch the full conversation that took place on May 8th on the Wave 105 YouTube channel. Stay informed and hear their vision for Guam's future. Wave 105 is a Glimpses of Guam radio station.
Welcome back to the show. This is the BrightSide right here on Wave 105. It's now time to take a look at our last look at traffic as we help you move forward on your daily commute. Standing by with the very latest as he helps you move forward along with Guam Auto Spot, Mr. Pauly Suba.
All right, let's look at the handy-dandy glimpses of Guam traffic app here. I do see major congestion on Route 1, so slow moving headed northbound after the ITC intersection through the village of Donkey area and the intersection where Route 10A meets Route 1, right? So I call that like the airport intersection. So there are delays there. Once you get past that, it's not too bad in the Upper Tumon area. I mean, you're going to see mild congestion, but it's not nearly as bad as where ITC is at. And then it's semi-decent in the village of Dededo throughout Marine Corps Drive until you get to between Salisbury Street
or
Route 27. Also, that's Harmon Loop Road. And Isangsong, Route 28. So you get through that, things get a lot smoother for you, and that's usually the case. Once we get past Isangsong, things are a lot easier for motorists heading northbound into Jigo. Other than that, I really don't see too many issues. Route 8, mild congestion, but nowhere near as bad as Route 1. You get through the tri-intersection, it's nice and easy for you until you meet everybody else over at Route 16 trying to decide whether they should take Harmon Loop or continue on to either Fatima or Route 1. All right, helping you move forward on this Monday afternoon. That's Guam Auto Spot. Schedule a test drive. Call them up, 478-AUTO. View their inventory on their website at guamautospot.com.
All right. How many more minutes? We got 2 more minutes?
I got this.
Okay.
There is a update on call to session from Speaker.
Yes.
Speaker Frank Blas says they are convening in session Thursday, July 2nd at 2:30 p.m. And then so they can disseminate Bill 266-38, which is the fiscal year 2027 budget bill.
Okay.
And then they will recess until Tuesday, July 7 at 9 a.m. to conduct the state funeral service in honor of the late Chief of Police Stephen C. Ignacio. And that state funeral service will begin promptly at 10 a.m. There will be a resolution 19738 introduced by Senator Tina Rose Muñoz Barnes relative to approving a state funeral for the late Chief of Police Stephen Ignacio in recognition of his exemplary service and lasting contributions to the island and people of Guam. And that will also be broadcast on GTA Channel 21, Docomo Channel 117 or 112-4, and the Guam Legislature's YouTube channel. And so that's the update from Speaker Frank Bloss Jr. And then I have been told that they will go back into session the following day, July 8, to discuss and debate Bill 266-38.
Wait, July 8, you said?
Yeah.
Wait, okay. What day does that fall under? Okay,
Friday?
So July 7th? Okay.
What, Friday, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Wednesday. July 8 is a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday, yeah. Yeah.
So they are going to, again, convene in session this Thursday, July 2nd, recess until Tuesday, July 7 for the state funeral for Chief Ignacio.
Okay.
And then this release doesn't say that they'll be back the following day, but I've been told that, I mean, even when Senator Jesse was here, he confirmed July 8 is when they would, start discussing and debating the budget.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so, I know that there are a number of forums that are taking place between July 8 and July 30. And so, we may or may not see some of those forums based on
what's going on.
The fact that most of them, or maybe they will, they will just have those forums without all of the senators running for governor and senator for the 39th Guam legislature, right? Because they'll be stuck in session. 6 o'clock on the dot, we'll take off. We'll be getting out of here. And national programming, Mr. John Batchelor takes over. Chad Benson is later on in the day. And then we will start again tomorrow, rolling with Dice, mornings with Patty, 6 to 10. And we won't, Norm's on leave, and it is not the third Tuesday of the month. So we won't have GCC's community talk either. So it's Patty from 6 to 10, and then it's Ryan and I, once again, from 2 to 6 for another Bright Side right here on Wave 105. Everybody get home safe. Be kind to each other, especially on the roads. Adjust KGUM-FM in Dededo, Guam.
You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall. Just be thankful for what you got. Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, diamond in the back, sun rooftop, digging the scene with gangster lead, gangster wife.
KGUM-FM, Dededo, the talk of Guam. This is Wave 105.1 FM, a Glimpses media radio station.